Governor Greg Abbott just signed into law two bills aimed at improving the state's main power grid and change the governance of the agency that operates it. Here to explain more, we're joined by political analyst Joe Bertel. Joe, always nice to have you with us here on Houston's Morning Show. Can you break down what's up with these bills and how they would directly relate to the power grid probs?
Yeah, so I think this was certainly a decent first attempt by the legislature, though incomplete. The highlights are it changes, as you said, the governance of ERCOT and places it in the hands of the governor, lieutenant governor. It requires the Railroad Commission and other regulatory bodies to essentially study the system and to create a map for participants in the power system to weatherize their critical infrastructure. Some of the criticism has been that while it does create some weatherization mandates, essentially requiring those who participated in the system to guard against the kind of low temperatures we had, it's very unclear as to when those actual deadlines are going to be. Calls for mapping, calls for studies, which is what politicians do when they're trying to give people more time. So, look, I mean, I think this was an effort. This gave politicians some cover to say that we passed some legislation, but it did nothing to alleviate the problems of those who came down with a 5-figure power bill. It did little to do to increase energy efficiency, which would reduce demand on the grid during high demand times. And I think most importantly, Melissa, what this overall incident did was to undermine the confidence of consumers in the reliability of their power companies to deliver at critical times. And this becomes an increasing issue as you see features like the Tesla Powerwall. We know for a fact that billions of dollars are being spent on energy storage and research to create alternatives to the power companies. And so, look, I mean, there's a lot of work for power companies and for their owners to do in the state of Texas to communicate in an authentic manner with their customers and reassure them that, you know, despite probably legislation that wasn't as tough as people wanted, that they have heard the concerns and they are actively working to restore confidence in their ability to do the job.
Joe, I find it interesting that you call it an effort because anybody who went through that knows we need more than an effort here to change things, and we need true change to help protect people's lives. So where do you feel that we go from here? I mean, this is a first step, but don't you, it sounds like you're saying we have a long way to go to truly make a difference here.
Yeah, we do indeed. And I think that, you know, one thing that people have to understand is that, look, we are getting a huge influx of population from around the country. The use patterns are changing. The demand on the grid is changing. And look, the weather patterns are changing. It's warmer for longer. And that's going to fundamentally, we have to take a look at how are we getting power? How are we delivering power? And what are the consequences for failure? And I think that's one area where if the average customer takes a look at this, what they're going to realize is that not only is the weatherization and some of the fixes that were recommended here sort of at loose ends in terms of an enforcement mechanism, but guess who picks up the tab for it? It's you and me via our bills and a small charge on our electric bills. So, I mean, look, this is going to further, I think, intensify the debate over what has to happen as our climate changes, as our days get warmer, and quite frankly, also as the demand on the electric system is greater, as people begin to buy electric cars, as they begin to change their energy use habits. This is not a problem that's going to go away. And mark my words, Melissa, this is one problem that this industry needs to change. Otherwise, they are going to start losing customers.
All right, Joe, it's going to obviously be an ongoing conversation. Thank you for playing a role in that and walking us through what's going on today, and we'll definitely keep it up. Good to see you as always.
My pleasure.